Howdy, folks. Welcome to another day in the Milky Way. And today is, I don't know what, Friday? I
It's
think so.
Saturday.
Oh, it is Saturday. And I'm telling you,
Yeah,
my
it's
days are,
Saturday. You're
and
losing
I'll tell
days
you why
like
here in a minute, folks. Huh?
I lose days too. I'm like, now
Uh,
that we're staying home, I don't know what day it is. I'm like,
I'm telling you, this week has just been horrendous for me. Hence,
I know.
where I've been missing in action.
Oops.
I I meant to come back and I was going to do the show the other night, and I'm telling you, I just could not bring my energy to you all. Like I was in just so much pain. I was up for like 48 hours straight, couldn't sleep. Finally, and then I slept like 18 hours a day the next 2 days, and finally started healing. So, which brings us to today. So my foot's feeling much better. That's what's killing me now is the antibiotics with my stomach, but foot's doing much better. But Brian needed to do some healing, so that's where
Yes.
Brian's been.
And that's awesome because you did it. Yay.
To be honest with you, I didn't have no choice. I, I mean, really, like it was. I play things off, and it was much worse than I was leading people to believe, including I was trying to fool myself, and
Mhm.
I'm lucky that it is in the shape it is in right now because I literally could have lost a foot probably again, the same foot. That foot's
Oh,
been to hell and back, spider bite, and now a nail through it. So
oh,
anyway, we're back.
yeah. What toe did it go through? Your big toe or your
No,
which
the
toe?
one right beside it, and it went
The
right
one
through.
right
Like this is
beside
the
it?
toe. It went right through the side, all the way through. Just
I think that's your fire toe.
my mom said you should show them a picture, and I was like, I wouldn't want to see this. So
Oh,
trust me,
I
I'm
know.
not going to show them.
Yeah, they're kind of scary. You're like, oh man,
Yeah,
do you? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. You say warning before you do. Anybody who doesn't want to
Oh,
see, just run.
I'm not going to show it. Like I said, it's so,
Yeah,
but,
I
but
feel you.
improving. So anyway, like I said, I had to do some healing this week. I didn't want to bring that energy on y'all, so my apologies. But like I said, we are back. I know this is usually trendy of truth. We're taking a little break from that for right now, and I'm kind of focusing on this higher minds. I am going to do other shows, but I want to catch up with well, with a lot of this because like I said, we're really, like we were talking before the show, we're going to start getting into that telepathy training after that. And I think after this, what we've seen with the proof in the pudding with this mass meditation and the effects it had on the Schumann resonance, that's more things that we can work on with this telepathy training workshop. Because that's what Trina was just talking about. It definitely we've seen the effects,
Yeah,
but I wonder about the energies people are feeling now after that.
yeah. How you all feeling in chat? Is everybody feeling okay? Or are you getting hit with some really crazy energy?
I,
I know
I
I
know
am.
me, I've been getting my ass whooped.
Me too. Yeah.
And on top of this, having an infection. So
Yes.
whew, been a good
I.
ride.
That's how they.
I gotta give a shout out to my stepdad though. I tell you what, he is a blessing. That man, thank God he likes to work. I mean, but he's overextended himself. He's kept everything rolling around here. So thank you so much. I love
Oh,
you.
oh, I bet that's such
But
a blessing. It's. I mean, wow, loving each other, supporting each other.
well, he's been my stepdad since I was 5 years old. So he's basically like my
Yeah,
father anyway. So
that's beautiful.
yeah,
And he does. He really loves you and he supports you a lot. That's amazing.
yeah.
It's
So
good.
thank you, and of course, I couldn't do it without my mom either. I love her. She may get on my nerves, and I get on hers, but we love each other.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
How's
Yeah,
your mom doing?
she's doing good.
Is she?
Yeah, she's all scared of the funk though, so she's totally like nobody's allowed in or out. So she's just like locked down.
It's funny. My grandmother, we usually would go out to eat every Friday, and we haven't been able to do that. And so, of course, she's a Trump supporter. I ain't gonna lie. And, like I said, she's hardcore a New Testament. But she kind of looks at this whole thing as a big fiasco or whatever too. And she's like, well, I'm gonna have a luncheon tomorrow on the deck So you'll have to come over. We'll be practicing social distancing. She was
Yeah.
being facetious. So,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah. I
Well,
don't
we
know.
already got 31 with us. That's good.
Oh, right on. Hi, everyone.
Yeah, we'll see who we
You
got.
know, it
Go ahead.
seems like things are getting better, so that's a good sign.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But like I was talking earlier here, like I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing. We know this is a real thing. Now, the numbers and all that, there's something fishy there, but like this is a real sickness, and I'm starting to wonder. Me and my mom was talking if whether that might not have been what I had and what my mom had. As y'all know, that's been following me here for a while. I had those breathing problems for like 4 months.
There's so
Couldn't breathe.
many people in the community that have that. I mean, Johan was, oh gosh, she was sick for months too. There's a few of us that
Yeah.
got nailed with it hard. And I came down with it, but I was better in like 2 days. But I had all the same things, the fever, the cough, the dry cough. Yeah. But that was all the way back in, gosh, February.
They're finding out it's been here a lot longer anyway.
That's what I was gonna say. I mean, because that was like 3 months before we heard of anything.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, that thing was strange, and it went hard into the chest, and it felt like you couldn't breathe, and it was terrible. And yeah,
And like I said, I'm still getting touches of that. It's always like right when I go to sleep though. But other than that, the breathing's doing much better. And I'll tell you one thing that helped me as far as with my breathing, and when I do get those kind of panic attack like things, meditate, focus on your breathing and that deep
yes,
breathing. That helps more than anything.
it does. There's chemistry to it. I mean, there really is. That's literally you're giving yourself pharmaceutical support with your natural ability.
Yeah,
But it literally you're giving yourself a treatment.
true. So,
Yeah, powerful treatment. Yeah.
Scotty boy, I don't ever get sick. Well, boy, it must be nice.
I know, right?
Zazaban welcome. Good to see you. Welcome from the UK. Let's see who we got with us real quick, and then we'll get it
Okay.
rolling. Excuse me. True, Lord, I let it get too far behind. Deborah Sloan, Pam King, welcome. Truth and Me, Deborah Trudeau, Tony Cherie, Big Al, David Castle. Sorry, I'm trying to get there in fast mode. I got
You
behind.
go.
Leanne V. Let's see. Who else we got?
Much love.
Delaney Jones, huh?
I said, much love to you all.
Absolutely. Me familiar. There's Mr. Brian Parker.
Hi, everyone.
Shannon Kling, good to see you.
Sunshine.
All right. Elsie Darling, what's going on? True. BTW70. Woohoo. Good to
Mm,
see you. Pure Love Ascension.
true love.
Miss Deborah L. Smith. Good to see her. Yes, there's Mr. Rick York, and good to see you, buddy. You've had a wild ride this week, haven't you? Who else we got going on? Mrs. Tribal 444. What's going on? Did you ever get my email? Truth of me, to be honest with you, I've got so many emails I just ain't been dealing with it this week. I will get back to them in the next few days though. Let's see who
I
else.
need to sleep.
Yeah, that's all I've been focusing on. I really hadn't had the mental capacity to deal with anything. So
Yeah.
let's see who else. Shauna D, did I say her? There's Mr. David No. What's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Rocky Mountain High, welcome back.
Hi, Rocky
Thank
Mountain.
you for the well wishes.
Yeah.
Who else we got? Got some good people. There's Mr. Scotty Boy just talking about you.
Scotty boy.
We're Sparkles.
I know. Where's Sparkles?
All right. Miss
Right.
Mary Wins, the Public Relations Department. I still ain't got your size in that, Mary. You need to give that to me. Jill Jarrett, what's going on? Let's see. I'm catching up, I think. I feel like there's that Zazaban
Right.
from the UK. That's an interesting name. I'd be interested to know what that name means.
Mm-hmm.
I know the or I'm assuming. I don't know. I guess assuming makes an ass out of you and me, though.
Right. Sometimes, right?
So,
Yeah. That's like me. I have a very unique definition of prick. So if I call you a prick, it's a serious compliment.
okay.
Yeah.
Enlighten me.
Well, my mom, she like when she like gets on my worst nerve, I'm like, you're such a prick. But the reason she was a prick and get on my nerves is because she's a perfectionist.
Yeah.
She's reliable. When she says she'll be there, she'll be there. She's um PRI, ingenious. She's so smart. So, and then caring and kind. So everything like she's yelling at you about is because, she's just trying to make your life easier because it needs to be done the right way. But the
So I guess
way,
my mom's a prick too.
yeah. So it's like, I was telling my girlfriend because she was thinking about getting some plastic surgery done, and my surgeon, he's a prick. He's a perfectionist. He's reliable. He's very thorough, great
Yeah.
guy. And she's just like, I was like, he's a total prick, dude. You want a prick. If you're going under the knife, you want a prick. You
Yeah.
want a prick. I said, you want somebody who's good, somebody who's very thorough, somebody who's going to make you go through all these tests to make sure you're healthy, to make, all these things. And he heard me calling him a prick one time, and he was so upset. And he told some of the people in his staff that I had called him a prick. And one of them was, I've known her for 15 years. So she called me. She goes, did you call him a prick? I was like, uh-huh. She's like, "Oh, really?" I says, "But don't mean what he thinks." She goes, "Well, what does it mean?" And I told her, she goes, "Oh my God." So I literally sent him, I printed out the anagram for prank, perfectionist, reliable, ingenious, caring, and kind. And I sent it to him with a letter. I was like, "So I overheard you heard me calling you prick." And I says, "Well, let me enlighten you." I says, "My definition of prick probably does not match yours, nor another definition you may even find elsewhere, because it's my own definition and it's for my mother. And this is the story behind it." I told him why he was a prick, and he started belly laughing in the office so hard. My girlfriend's worked for this guy for years, like over a decade. She said she'd never ever heard him laugh like that in his entire life because he was so floored because I just flipped his whole brain around
Right.
because it was totally opposite of what he thought. He was like super offended. And I'm
Right,
like,
let
no,
me get
it's
back
a
to
totally
these
great
names real quick.
compliment.
Let me get back to names so we can get going. I'm sorry. That's definitely a different terminology for
It
sure.
is, but it's how there's so many things we think we understand what somebody means and we really don't.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So back to the names. Michelle
Yeah.
Cannon Free, BTW 70.
God, yeah.
And I still want to know the Zazaban on. Please, can you let me know? And I just saw Tina Bop 123. That's been a while since I've seen her.
Oh, hi, Tina.
Who else we got going? Vina Windfire. Welcome. Never seen you here. Good to see you. Celia and Favor, welcome back. Welcome back. Pa Joe, good to see you. Good to see you. Lyndall Davison, there she is. I love Lyndall. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Ray of Thoth 24, welcome back. Teresa D'Antone. See, I told you I let it get too far behind.
Oh, it's okay. Say hi.
Yeah, most of it's just the same here.
Leanne. Hi, everybody.
Where am I? I like that Vina Wildfire though. Okay. Okay, I'm there. If I missed you, I'm so sorry. I was trying to go super speed through it. Did you want me to show that article about the Schumann that you were talking about? Did you want to elaborate on that any before we started?
I think we should because I think that's like the whole thing. And I think that's how we're really truly making a change. We're really making a change that we can measure and see. And that's profound. So we've been talking about the whole time. It's like, how do we make, our lives better? I think we've just seen it.
And I guess I assume this is the actual readout. Does that look similar to what you saw
Yeah,
the other day?
it sure does. It sure does.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's definitely no coincidence as far as that goes that it happened exactly at the time we do that meditation. And
That's
it
what I mean.
lasted for how long did you say?
It kept going through spikes, and I think it even had like a bigger band the next day. So like it had like a reverberation effect. It was like waves
Hmm.
of energy. It was
Yeah.
amazing. So guys, what that did, that was profound. And here in the US, that was supposed to be our biggest, like our spike for this whole, illness that's going around. And it literally was the first day that the numbers actually dropped.
Really?
It sure did. So, I mean, this had an effect on so many different ways. And I mean, if we can keep this up, I really think that we can keep all of this illness under control. We can keep a lot of things under control.
It
Start
seems like a,
focusing on solutions, seeing things happen to work things out. Because we've got a lot of things going on right now. And I think we need a little bit of help to consciously drive the reality because the agenda is really toxic. So we have to work on a common happy reality that we can focus on together, however that looks.
yeah, right there's the name of the website, Soulful Heart Blog. If any of y'all want to check it out, I don't have my YouTube pulled up on my computer, or I would copy and paste it, but it seemed like a pretty good article. It was basically talking our terminology
Yeah.
with frequency change and this is something I didn't know, and of course, who can verify it really though? But they said that many other higher dimensional galactic beings, including Arcturians, Pleiadians, Sirians, were with us in intention and amplifying it even more.
Okay, Brian, that's really weird. There's been this thing coming up on the TVs randomly through different TV programs, and it's saying, "We are here with you."
Has it,
Something
has it,
like that. Something like that. It keeps popping up. And that's exactly what I thought that meant was like we have higher powers right now literally coming in to assist us with these vibrations.
I swear, like I can't watch the presidential things anymore. I swear they're putting a frequency through it or something. Like I start getting a headache immediately if
Yeah, then they probably are, Brian. You're probably right.
I can't watch it. I immediately start getting a headache, and like that's
Wow.
what I felt. I felt like it was some kind of frequency they were putting through the airways or something. I don't know, but I can't. I won't watch them anymore.
Wow. Pay attention to that because you're right. You know you're right if you feel it. If you feel it, you're right.
Yeah, I don't even question that no more. It's so funny. I used to never believe in myself at all, and now like shit, if it comes through my mind, I'm sticking with it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
You just got to be careful, discern because the ego, it's always trying to keep you
Oh
safe.
yeah,
So, yeah,
yeah.
you got to always watch the ego because it can be tricky because its biggest purpose is to keep
Oh,
you.
that's why I'm not going to run and tell anybody. I want to make sure and let it run its course some and make sure I'm right before I'm going to say something.
Right.
you know, make
Yeah.
sure I do my due diligence.
Right. Or at least put your best effort forth to do it. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, because we're never perfect all the time. We fall down and go boom, but we're good. We're
yeah. I mean,
learning.
we can talk about manifesting all we want to, but until you actually start putting it into practice, it's a different thing.
Yeah, and haven't you noticed too when you start to put it into practice, there's consequences because, like, it's like you graduate, and if you do stuff wrong, it's like, man, you feel that too, real fast.
Yep. Well, you ready to get her rolling? I know this first chapter I kind of perused through it a minute ago. I know this first
Oh,
one's
I
pretty
can't wait.
short.
So ready.
So, as usual, if you don't care, keep up with chat.
Okay.
All right, chapter 21, folks. Here we go at 10:19. We're a little behind. I apologize. All right, here we go. Earth has been riddled with mind control, conflict, and wars since the creation of mankind. This is mostly because the people was not in charge of their mind. There was always someone else telling them what to do, how to do it, and when to do it, and what to think. And nothing has changed. We were just talking about that. To achieve peace, people must find peace within themselves. That is an individual thing and cannot be induced by government or by other people. Peace is a spiritual thing with physical effects. Governments have no spirituality. A teacher and enforcer of fear cannot bring peace. Peace is a lot more than no crime. A person with peace inside can teach others. All parts of a society must be involved in obtaining peace. Otherwise, it will never be. Governments must be an integral part of that. Usually, the more freedom you have, the more peace you will have. In a highly spiritual society, not religious, a system of no government will work. In a purely religious government, there will be nothing but by oppression, forced submission, and tyranny of the ones who dare to think on their own. That is why many benevolent looking countries put a clause of religious freedom in their constitution. In years past, when these constitutions were created, the concept of true spirituality was not well understood. So the term freedom of religion was all they understood to use. The most stable government is the republic. There are many versions of it, and all of them may not be good for the people, but it is a stable government. The government of democracy has been tried repeatedly over millennia and has and always will fail. When the people figure out how to vote themselves money from the public treasury, it is only a relatively short time before it will go broke, descend into a corrupted, tyrannical cesspool, and kill itself. The concept of pure communism has also been tried many times throughout history, but has never succeeded and been any good for the people. In a society where freedom is severely restricted, there is no higher spiritual awareness, and the ego rules. That is why most communist governments are changing their ways to include more freedom, individual opportunity and rewards, free enterprise, self determination, and openness in government. This is causing a raise in the living standard of the people. Communism can be good spiritual concept and work very well in a highly developed spiritual society where the ego is not the ruling power and the people are all working for the common good. Again, an excellent example of this is the Essenes. Both before and after they settled in the Qumran area, the society was totally communistic in structure. To join the people donated all their worldly property to the commune. Then the people studied them and worked for the common good. But there is a here in the soup, and that is that it does not do much to promote physical progress and ingenuity and other advancements of the society in a physical sense. Physical and technological progress comes from the individual well being felt by accomplishments and rewards. So there comes the ego sneaking back in again. While you're on your way towards higher spiritual awareness, the ego can temporarily be used for good things to advance our progress both physically and spiritually. It is up to us to find a balance in our lives between the ego in our physical existence and the spiritual advancements we are seeking. As we grow spiritually, everything around us will take on a more spiritual nature, and answers to all the puzzles and questions you may have now will unveil themselves to you in time. Right off the bat, we've
Hmm.
talked about everything going on now, and what I got from that is like, we're going through this worldwide, this global recession or whatever you want to call it. That's
Yep,
exactly what they were just talking about. It has to happen.
it
It's,
does.
it has to.
It absolutely does. And I think it is happening right now in front of us. I really do.
I mean, it's not popping up in this book right now for the, it's like confirmation to me.
It's synchronicity. And yeah, that's when you know you're on track. You keep seeing the synchronicities. That means, yeah, Brian, this is important stuff.
So we hadn't had any questions, have we?
Nope. Mm-mm. People are
Uh,
just commenting, but no questions.
we'll continue then. In order for the outer world and physical existence to change, there must be a change in consciousness. Internal development always requires external change. So there you have it, the hand in the glove. The internal development is also reflected in the harmony and success you have in your physical existence. Your consciousness creates your own harmonious success. This is hard to do with all the fear which has been introduced into our lives and the stress of everyday living. If we argue with physical reality, we will easily have stress. And we do, because we are confused about what is real and important. To keep the stress off the front door steps, when it wants to get in, we can simply attack it with love. When something negative happens, I simply say or think, I forgive it. It will be for the best of all concerned. All success may not even be good. Is it even success if you accumulate $1 million and you lose your family in the process because you're always at the office and never at home when they need you?
Hmm.
So, how do we proceed if we want to create a happy, healthy, and successful life in all aspects of it? A planned, vivid, and colorful visualization of the life you want is key. Few people spend much time creating the end product in their mind. Like with manifestation, that's the way you do it. You create like like you've already got it.
Yeah.
They may have a conceptual idea of what they want to accomplish, and that other people have done this, that, and the other thing to get there. So they go out and do this, that, and the other thing. Most of the time, this is like going across the river to get water. It usually turns into hard work and wet feet. If you have created a detailed, emotional, colorful picture of the end product of the success you are seeking, other forces than just your hard labor and higher conscious thinking will step into the game with you and help to ensure you will have what you have created in your mind. That is where manifestation comes from. You also get to enjoy the feelings of having the finished product while you are working on it. Now you're speaking the spiritual language. I have another saying: know what you want and you will have it. If you do not know what you want, you will have it. Read that saying again and think on it. Okay, I'll say it again. Know what you want and you will have it.
Mm.
If you do not know what you want, you will have it.
Yep.
We know all creations or manifestation starts in the mind at every level of existence. Inspiration is when the universal consciousness speaks to you with inspiration and says, hey, look at this. Are you interested? Here's an opportunity and your solution to what you have been thinking about so much. If you go and do something with it, it's very often is a short, quick thought. You have to, it's just like those downloads. That's the way it is. It's like a passing memory or something.
Yeah, it's fast.
You have
Hmm.
to catch it while it is flying through your mind and latch on to. Therefore, always keep a pen and paper or a voice recorder with you. Write it down, record it, tell someone who you are with. Call yourself on the telephone and leave a message or whatever works for you. Inspired visualization is key. That is how all manifestation starts. Every invention and physical manifestation has to be visualized in detail before it can be manifested into the physical reality. Once something has been visualized, it is manifested on a mental level of existence. A permanent record of it has been created in two places: one in a mental existence, and the other in your physical memory. Both of them can be recalled and relived at any time. The two of them are connected and will draw on each other, trying to connect in one place. Anything manifested anytime you decide to. Okay. Every time you revisit your visual manifestation, you solidify the path to it. It's just like going across the country to visit an address in another town. The first two times you may need a map. After that, you know where it is. No maps needed. The more you visit your mentally visualized manifestation and build on it, the more solid it becomes. When you visit the manifestation, you can improve, expand, solidify, and put more detail, color, feeling, and emotion into it. The more you visit and work on it, the stronger connection you will have to it. The stronger connection you have to the mentally visualized manifestation, the stronger you are drawn to it. Then, the stronger you are drawn to it, the more likely it is that your physical reality will be drawn up this connector string. And to this manifestation, it is a matter of attraction. This cannot be emphasized strong enough, and that is why I may repeat some of this later. As soon as your conscious mind understanding something, whether you agree or not, the subconscious mind says, aha, so that is how it is. We will go with that. As soon as you create a solid visualization of something in the future and feed it detail with emotion and committed thoughts of intention, there has been created a timeline from you to it. It has been given a location or a home. It is up to you to solidify the timeline. Go and visit this thing you have shaped in your mind and build on it, tweak it, add more detail, walk through it, nearby it, on it, and experience the wonderful feeling you and the other people will have enjoying this thing. Know it exists now. Your present timeline will follow the timeline with the most and strongest mental and emotional energy in it. If you plan for nothing in the future, you will have provided no guidance for the universal consciousness to lead you up and beyond whatever arrangements were done before you were born. It may not be a bad thing, but you may have more experiences, learn more, and grow faster if you exercise the option of determined free will. Belle Christine Tribby gave me another saying I have been using. The strongest intention field wins. There's a fine line between intention, which in the same ways can be limiting because it can be limited to what you intend, and the free flow of unlimited creative universal consciousness. The latter may create beyond our wildest dreams, especially if you put no limitations on it. There again, you may not get everything you want at your chosen time because there may be unseen spiritual scheduled events and time coded incidents you have agreed to partake in. Your physical self may choose something at your own chosen time, but there's another mind making decision with you about what, how, when, and even if. So you can create your own future just by visualizing it into existence and pave the road to it. Keep paving the road over and over again until it is so solid you can just about see it and walk on it. People who brainstorm with the universal consciousness, use the information, and plan ahead will create great things in their own lives and for mankind. Others will have to settle for general master plan. Though inaction is also an action, and no decision is a decision to do nothing. Sometimes doing nothing is the right decision. Instead of rushing in and doing the wrong thing and creating an imbalance in the universal energy field. That is why I have learned to never make major life decisions anymore without sleeping on it first. Like I say, we learn how to make right decisions from all the lessons we get by making wrong decisions.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of alligator bites to prove that I have made a lot of wrong decisions in my life. Who you telling?
Right.
Therefore, whatever happens in your life is a result of your decisions, and you are 100% responsible for the results and consequences of your actions. I hope you can see the logic in what you are totally responsible for the way your life turns out. That is why it is so important to have a dream. It gives you a mentally recognizable purpose. The dream you will be building in your life should be your own. If it is not, you will be building the dream of someone else. The choice is yours. Sometimes you can be halfway to success just by making a decision to start. It is a fact that people who make decisions, even if they are wrong once in a while, are more successful in their lives than the ones who do not. Amen to that.
Gosh, that is so true. It's how it's done. It's really how it's done. How
Has
many of
any
you guys have a good vision of a future, like a future vision for like a new Earth? Do many of you have that vision? I would like to see that in chat. How many actually have a vision of a 5D world, a fifth dimensional new Earth, however your terminology is?
That's actually a good question.
Yeah, because do you have a vision of that, Brian?
Oh, absolutely.
I do too. Yeah. Shauna D, me.
Let's say something. Oh, has anybody else just been so dehydrated?
Yes, and I think that's part of the technology. I
Well,
think that's
here's
part of
something else that popped in my mind. I swear to God, nobody's talked about it, but I think this is one of the major things we're feeling right now. I was talking about we're getting pounded with this UVC radiation.
yes.
Okay, UVC, CV,
Yep.
it's radiation. People are feeling radiation poisoning sickness.
Yes.
What
I'm
if it's
telling
just
you.
the
Yes.
sun? It
Yep.
could just be the sun.
Yep.
So,
It sure
anyway,
could. But I think you're right though. I think it's got a lot of symptoms of radiation poisoning. So
oh,
people do radiation poison treatments. There's many ways to detox yourself of radioactive stuff. Seaweed, kelp, mushrooms, all kinds of good stuff.
a lot of people are saying they've been dehydrated because I'm telling you, I've just been
Yes.
pounding water and that's another thing with sleeping. I wake up and my entire mouth and everything is just dried out, and I'm just pounding water, and then same thing.
That's so strange. I wonder if we need a little bit more salt to help hold in the water. I
Might
don't
be a
know.
good. That might be
Interesting.
good for me, yeah, because I got that Berkey water filter, it takes all that crap out, so.
Yeah.
And I use I use Himalayan salt so I don't get any of the iodine or anything out of the iodized salt. That's
Right.
something I need to take. Iodine's what I need to start taking.
Yeah, and also too, always buy the regular iodized salt, and what I do is I put them both in. I do some regular salt and some Himalaya
Because it
salt.
really don't take much.
Yeah, yeah, but we need salt. Salt's really important. It really is. pH water. Try humidifier at night. That's a great idea, Jules.
Yeah, I've got a humidifier too. I need to pull it out. That's something I need to do. That's good, Lady Spitfire. I need to start adding like a little lemon to my water or something too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
It's a
maybe
good
get
idea.
balanced. Yeah,
Well,
pepper, salt.
oh God, BTW 70, definitely not Mountain Dew. It's like the worst thing in the world. And let me tell you, I used to love me some Mountain Dew, but man, them things are. We was talking about Coke earlier. Like those things are so toxic. It's so weird. Like that you can use a Coca-Cola to clean off the battery acid. Like best thing in the world to clean off battery acid.
It
But
really
it's the
is.
best thing for your stomach too. I guess it's just
It
because it's
is.
burning out whatever's in there.
Well, what it is I think when an acid hits an acid, it goes neutral. So to
Okay.
get rid of the acid, you hit it with an acid,
But
and
I
then
guess so because the apple cider
neutralize it.
vinegar and all that stuff. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
exactly why. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and I think too, you've been doing a lot of acids. I think that's why I was hearing aloe vera juice, soothing, tissue
Yeah.
healing. Yeah, I keep hearing it.
I just hearing aloe vera that makes my stomach feel good. I don't know why. So
Yeah,
maybe
I love those synchronicities. That means we're on track with something
so
good.
maybe I need
Yeah,
to check
David,
that out.
baking soda. I love baking soda. That's an amazing thing. It fixes so many problems.
Yeah, Leanne V says Mountain Dew made me get to 210 pounds now, 130. Hell yeah, that's something that stuff
You go,
is.
girl. I was 267 and I'm 130 now too.
I know this guy that used to be one of my buddies. I hadn't seen him in a while actually, but and this may be why. Literally every day he would get up and he'd probably drink 6 to 10 Mountain Dews every day. Never drank water ever, ever.
Yep.
So, like I said, that might be why I ain't seen him in a while. I don't know.
Yeah, possibly. I'm telling you. I know people that do that too, and I'm like, wow, that's gonna catch up to you.
Oh man.
It's gonna catch up to you. Hmm.
So, you know, the little food for thought there for people that's talking about the Mountain Dew. It was created like 15 minutes from here
Oh wow.
in Johnson City, Tennessee. That's where it's from. It was great because it's supposed to be the best thing to complement moonshine. Honestly, I think water is the best thing, but
Yeah.
that's just my own personal opinion. All right, this has got to be a good chapter of being 23. I would imagine. I haven't went over and looked at it yet, but I would
It's your
assume it's
number.
yeah, it's
That's your number.
so. All right, here we go. Chapter 23.
Okay.
Wealth, riches, abundance, financial independence. Is it the same? If you had to pick one, which one would you choose? Financial independence obviously leads, what? Obviously deals with finances only. Sorry, brain fart.
Okay.
Having lots of money and still be unhappy is very uncommon. Riches can extend into other things than finances. Have you heard the saying, he is asset rich and cash poor? Yeah, that's our
Yeah.
president. I hope you picked abundance. The others are, yeah, that's what I would have picked, definitely. The others are more superficial and limited. Abundance can include wealth, riches, financial independence, happiness, good friends, purpose, love, and so much more. It is more spiritual in nature. Abundance means to have abundantly or enough of what is enough what it is you need. I tell you what, this guy is the tongue twister of all writers.
Yes,
He don't know how to
absolutely.
write something simple. Whew.
Hmm.
Sorry,
You do
folks.
good. You just yeah. It's so understandable when you read. You do
Oh
good.
God, I feel like I'm sitting here stumbling over myself.
No, I get that way, and it feels like that. But no, you're doing great. I love listening to you read. It's awesome.
Okay, well, thank you. All right, here we go. We'll keep trying. Abundance can be had by anyone. It can come to you in a myriad of different ways, but it also does not come and stay with you unless you engage in some form of higher consciousness thinking, superior of the masses. Remember the 80-20 rule? 20% of the people own 80% of the wealth in the country. It's more than that, and or less than that now.
Yep.
If everything was taken and distributed equally to all people, 5 years later, it would be back to the 80-20 rules again because of the way people think. There's a reason why some people are always broke. There's also a reason why some people are always obtaining wealth. They think different. Their confidence is unshakable, but confidence is not arrogance. I don't know what that said. Let me back up. Neither is it a feeling of superiority.
Mm-hmm.
Confidence we get from knowing who we are.
Mm-hmm.
Where's my cursor? There we go. Humility is not the lack of confidence. Humility is a willingness to honor others by listening, helping, and sometimes asking for help. Humility can be expressed in a myriad of different ways by different personalities, but it always has the same frequency: love. Abundance can come through traditional ways like business and trade, or your mind can reach into the unseen world of higher consciousness and allow for the universal consciousness to supply everything you need and want. You do not have to be highly educated, a priest, spiritual teacher, or anything special to be able to open the flow of abundance from the universal consciousness. All you need to do is study, meditate, and get an understanding of the third set of sciences, spiritual science. When you start to manifest abundance into your life, it is like walking down an unfamiliar path, and you are excited and happy and just waiting for the next wonderful thing that will fall out of the trees will be. The people you meet, the books you read, the insights you will have, the horizons and opportunities that open up to you, the peace and happiness you will have will be like it was from another world, and it is. You will get to, like my favorite term, abundance and opportunities will follow the trees onto your path. Well, that was a quick one.
That's beautiful. And that's the essence of everything we're trying to accomplish right now.
Mm-hmm.
Is like I've always been told over and over again, the detail is in the devil's in the details. So it's like abundance and opportunity. Those are two really beautiful like focus words we could use as a group because all of us see abundance in different ways. All of us see opportunity different in many multitudes of ways, and that's like how I know we're going to make the greatest effect is like if we all focus on something really large, like even healing the water. That's going to go through so many different ways in our minds, but it doesn't matter because if we can touch the water of the entire world will gather that information and it will catch that imprint.
It'd be a good place to start, and somewhere I would like to start with that telepathy training is on the Great Barrier Reef
Oh yeah.
because it's struggling right now. So
Oh
that might
yeah,
be a
that's
good
a
place to
great
start.
idea, Brian. Great idea.
So keep that. That's why I'm trying to get through this book too. Like I'm excited about starting that.
Oh
So no
God, I love
question.
this book. I'm like gonna be sad when it's over because I
I
really
know
like this book.
there's other books I've got following up is almost just like this. I mean, not exactly, but
Yeah, this
same.
is a good one.
It's all about mind expansion and stuff. That's what I'm focusing on from here on out. I'm not. As I told y'all, folks, I'm not going to focus on all this other crap going on around there. Everybody else has got that covered. So I want to focus on the good things like this.
Absolutely.
All right, so here we go, chapter 24 at 10:44. Here we go. One of the things all of us are most interested in is manifesting new and better things in our lives. It is all about manifesting. If there are things in your life you do not like, you do not de-manifest it. You manifest new things and situations to replace the ones you presently have for the highest good for all concerned, and that is key.
Yeah.
Forget the saying, whatever happens, happens. That used to be one of my favorites too. Only after you have done everything you can think of to steer your life in the direction you want it to go, including hard work, brainstorming, following up on inspirations, manifestings. We can hand it over to the universal consciousness or God and say something like, universal consciousness in me, I have done everything I can think of. My life is in your hands. Whatever happens, happens, and I am good with that, since I know it will be for the higher good, and I thank you for the wonderful things in my life. One way or the other, you are the architect of your life. Once you have decided what it will look like and draw up the plans, that is the way it will be. Write it down. You just hand it over to the contractor, and that is the way he will build it until you change your mind for something better. Do not change your mind too often. It gets confusing for the contractor and things can go on the shelf. It is the same way with manifestation. Once you have figured out what you want, you start building it in your mind. When you have built every detail in your mind, and you hand it over to the universal consciousness so it can finish the work for you. Manifestation is usually an individual thing. You must get out of the group mindset. Hmm. An
Yeah.
exception to that rule is that if you and your family got together to manifest something for the common good of the family. In that case, it is important that you have discussed it in detail so each one of you have the same picture of what you are manifesting, which is very important. If
Yeah.
there are conflicting plans going to the contractor, what is he going to do? Usually nothing until you get your act together.
Yep.
Confusion can do nothing but create stagnation. The plans will go on the shelf until there are plans that agree with each other, so the contractor has something to work with. I know this is a flippant way to talk about it. I do that on purpose because putting it this way, the mind will have an easier way to remember it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad the mind's easier to remember it because it's a hell of a lot harder to say it this way. Dry and cold hard facts gets boring after a while. It is just that it really does work this way.
Yeah.
Since everything in our holographic universe is made up of thought, when you manifest things from an unseen world into the visible physical world, just another form of thought at a lower frequency. You are not manifesting something from nothing. You're merely asking the universal consciousness in yourself to alter its form and include this new thing you are requesting in your hologram.
Can we stop there for a second?
Absolutely.
That is profound what that just said. You are not manifesting from nothing. You are merely asking the universal consciousness within yourself to alter its form, including the new thing you are requesting into your hologram. That's the eight-dimensional crystal thing I kept seeing, like our Sims.
Mhm.
That's I think this is where we have to do the manifesting. We have to literally see it in this eighth dimensional holographic realm and start creating in the higher realm, and then it'll manifest on earth. But I think that might be one step that um maybe we've been getting a little bit, we need to maybe integrate that maybe a little more, is working with the actual hologram, because the hologram is the blueprint, and the architect needs blueprints, right?
And I mean, we're projectors of that hologram.
Right. And like you said, if we can't get the good blueprint, then we're not manifesting correctly. And the blueprints are already connected to the source, that the massive hologram that you're connected to. So yeah, I think it's a beautiful thing that it was stating right there. It's like this isn't coming out of nothing. We're merely asking the universal consciousness within ourselves to alter matter,
Yep.
including the new thing that you're requesting into the hologram. So this is it. You grab the vision, and then the vision through the hologram shoots and projects down into the matter. That's brilliant.
And like I say this every time, folks, but y'all really, I'm going to go back and read this again, just by myself. I highly recommend ever go back. You
Yeah.
could read this over and over and over, to be honest with you. All right, so we're okay. There we go. All right. There is a process rooted in spiritual science for that. It will be introduced into your hologram in the world of form through behind the scenes thought processes and the physical laws of physics.
Yeah.
This thought energy and the thing you are manifesting is already an integral part of the universal consciousness, and where time does not exist, so it holds all creations and manifestations, past, present, and future, in this timeless soup of creation. All we have to do is to match our feelings and emotions of what we want to manifest with the vibration of energy of the universal storehouse of creative thought energy. Everything that is and what will be is already created. We match our thought energy with the universal consciousness, and that is the best done by inducing an emotional feeling of love, gratitude, and oneness with the source. That will set up a resonance of unity and vibration, and it will draw to you what you are looking for. When you want to manifest something, just thinking it is usually not enough. Get emotional and feel the satisfaction or enjoyment of already having it. Emotion is the carrier of thought, and mental pictures with feeling fine tunes the modulation of the language of spiritual thought. That is why it is so important to have as much detail, color, and other people enjoying it, etc., as possible when you focus your visualized requests to the universal consciousness in the last portion of your meditation. Manifesting and creating is not really the same thing, even though we seem to use it alternately. Nothing profound about this, but to me, creation means to create something new. Manifesting to me means to bring something into existence that we did not have before from somewhere else. I would compare it to a man having two bank accounts. If one bank account is running out of money, he can transfer funds from that other bank account and replenish the one that is going broke. Now there is balance and everything is good again. He is solvent. Other people can look at this concept differently, and at its core, we only have intelligence through energy. This intelligent energy can change form. It has changed into everything you see around you: the universe, the planets, the chrysanthemum sitting in a pot in the kitchen, you, me, and it will keep changing form into everything you manifest by our thoughts now and in the future. We are that energy also. To compare it, we are one of those bank accounts. When we are running low on resources, we can just transfer in more resources from the other bank account. We can only get what is in the bank account, and that is energy. This energy is being organized into something useful in the physical holographic universe for us. This is rather automatic since the energy is the same kind of energy that has created our physical body and our environment. All we do is to align the vibrations, and we draw on the energy from this universal storehouse of creative energy. All this energy does is to flow through you and enter the manifestation process by lowering its frequency and shaping itself after what you have visualized in your mind. The energy starts out as a non physical subatomic wave and is materialized into form in the physical reality as electric in nature. The atomic structure is always electric in nature, guided by your thoughts. That is why it's so important to control your thoughts. What you visualize and fill your mind with the most is the message you are sending to the universal bank account, requesting replenishment of. If you're always walking around thinking about how broke you are and worried about the bad thing is going to happen next, that's the message you're sending to the universal consciousness, saying you want more of. Remember, as a man thinketh, so he is. Why? Because the universal consciousness does not get the words, just the mental images that you're sending. Balding tires, taxes are overdue, layoffs at work, checking account, 971 in it. If this is all that is in your mind, that is the message you are sending. And you sure don't want that. The universal consciousness looks at that and thinks, wow, those are intense thoughts. He must want that really bad. I will hurry up and send more of it. I am sorry I'm playing with the words again, but these are the end results. Non-loving negative thoughts are of a lower spiritual frequency. It will only draw to it what it is, like seek like. Get it? Our thinking must change so we do not dwell on the challenges all the time, but on the challenge solving process. Did you notice I did not say problem? We do not have any problems until we decide that we do and call it such. Problems are more severe than challenges. Challenges are just opportunities we have not found how to take advantage of yet. You know, right bet what I got from that is basically that's what we're going through right now. All this negativity is nothing but negative, negative, negative coming at us 24/7.
They're trying to create problem, reaction, solution, but all we need to do right now is look at this as a challenge that we're going to overcome.
I mean, you know, them putting out this constant press about this is lowering the frequency and the vibrations, everybody else. That alone makes people sick.
That's what I'm telling you, Brian. This is such a deep agenda to put people in such utter, complete fear. And by like when we did that meditation and we brought the frequency up on the planet to such a level, man, we just wiped out so much fear on this planet. It cancels it out because, oh, it's just the higher vibrations destroy so much of the negative vibrations. Oh, that is the best thing that we could have ever done.
Absolutely.
It's amazing to me how powerful that was.
So Mary put David Knowles live at 11:15. I was going to do another chapter, but we'll wrap it up there. That way people can go over and watch David because he always puts on a good show. Always good to listen to. I need to get him back on here at some point. I will. Like I said, I haven't been making any schedules. That's why I'm just kind of rolling with this. To be honest with you, I don't have anything planned for tomorrow night. If you're free, I'd like to come back and do another chapter tomorrow night.
Okay. And can I just say, David, you are just such an amazing soul. I literally, I can't even tell you how much I honor and appreciate your wisdom and the things you share with everybody. It's profound and moving, and I love it. So thank you.
Definitely good people. I hope everybody enjoyed tonight. So
such good people.
So it's tongue twisters. I'm telling you, I try.
You know, it's hard sometimes. And you know, when you don't read for a little bit, I think you kind of lose your groove. Like tomorrow, you'll be like da 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 da, because you know you got to get used to it again.
That's what I mean. And plus, you know, I've missed y'all. Trust me, like this week, like y'all's energy coming in. Like I feel so much better now just from you know the love that I've received.
Yes.
So thank you all. I truly love and appreciate each and every one of you. So have you got anything coming up you want to talk about real quick?
Just it's like you know, ever since I was little, I was always told by my guide, the Lord, you know, you came here to be like Jesus, and you'd have a group that would be like that with you. There was a whole group of people, and we'd all be doing different aspects of it. None of us would do it the same way. And it's so beautiful because you guys, that light, it was like, it was evidence. You guys are the ones that are going to change the world because you'll think right. You'll think right.
Instead of this nonstop comparing, and embrace your differences. That's the way I look at it. That's the beauty behind it. So.
None of us are going to ever perceive the same thing. Even if we all witness the same account, we're all going to have a different perception of how that event happened.
That's why it's important to discuss it.
Yeah, we got to stop. What they've taught us, that's their greatest tool, is to teach us to divide over all the details. Like, no, you know, that's their strongest weapon against us. And we can learn that all of it is beautiful and all of it is needed. That's when we win.
Hey, all I gotta say is this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. So.
Oh, I love that song. I love that song. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Well, listen, I guess we'll be back tomorrow night then, folks. Once again, thank you. And go over and check out David Noel. He comes on in 15 minutes. That gives you enough time to go to the bathroom and get something to drink.
That's right.
Until tomorrow, be the frequency you want to receive, folks. And I truly love you all.
I love you too.